Hello, my name's Joshua Jarman, and today, for the May 2023 MUFIC Songwriter of the Month, I've got Rey Soto. Ray, how you doing today, man?
Oh, great.
Good to see you, man. It's been a little while. I used to run into you quite often at the open mics here in town. You still
Yeah.
doing that?
I get out from time to time.
Nice. So you do a lot of open mics. That's where I met you. You play a lot of original music. It's one of my favorite things that I remember about you bringing to those open mics. Are you still doing a lot of writing?
Yeah, I've been writing for about 9 years now.
9 years.
So this month, I think, to the month.
So you've got tens of thousands of songs after 9 years, right?
Not that.
Not
No,
that
no, probably. I think between 300 and 400 right now.
That's very impressive.
So,
Right? And to have that many songs you're writing, how often?
I think it's been a monthly thing. I started in 2014, and I think I only took one break in between, maybe in early, like the spring of 2016. I took some months off and then got back at it.
Is that like a practice routine of yours, or is it something you just happen to do monthly?
I think what I did is, at a certain point, I just wanted to make sure I didn't want to take that much time off. I think in 2014, when I had taken a few months off there, I realized that that it was something that I really enjoyed and I wanted to get back to, and so I said, well, let's do let's make sure we're doing this on a monthly, more regular basis.
Nice. Yeah, keep the blade sharp, so to speak, and that way you're jumping right back in, and you still,
Yeah.
got the wheels greased. What kind of things do you find yourself writing about, especially monthly? I mean, you've got to have material, yeah.
Yeah. Variety of different songs. I mean, any song theme out there. I think that I think the stuff they put on the radio. Love songs, breakup songs. Every now and then I get bored with the breakup songs and love songs, and maybe try something different every now and then.
What's different?
Anything that's not that.
Well, I see. You've got a Marines Cup here, man. Did you serve? You did some time in the Marines?
Oh yeah, I was in the Marine Corps. Shortly after high school, I served for 2 enlistments.
2 enlistments. That's cool. So just shy of 8 years, yeah.
Just inside.
Is that something that you find yourself writing about?
I have. I've written several songs about military, about Marine Corps topics.
So when you sit down and you find yourself inspired to write about things like love or lack of love, or even things like your time in the military or the world, what is your process like? I mean, do you sit and it just kind of pours out, or?
Before I sit down, I'm always, one thing, if I'm not, I sit down to actually write a song maybe half a dozen times a month, but I don't force it. I'm always writing something down. I always have a notebook or my phone, and I collect throughout the time. And then when I actually do sit down to write songs, or when I feel the inspiration, I'll go back and kind of review all that stuff that I have. And then I can go, I can either add it or not to the song if it fits the theme or the mood.
What you're trying to accomplish?
Yeah, because some of that stuff doesn't add up, depending on what the song's about.
So this is just out of my own curiosity, but do you prefer to write your ideas with a pen or pencil, or do you like to do the digital phone thing or voice memos? Or
I usually start with a pen and paper.
Nice.
And if I can't, I've been in situations where I can't. If I'm having trouble sleeping and I feel like I just can't sleep unless I write something down, I put it in my phone before and then rolled over and went back to bed.
Yeah, you come back to it when you can.
Yeah, and then I come across it later on, and then and I say, well, what is this?
Say you come back to one of those pieces and it's something you feel proud of, right? Who's the first person that you go to show? I mean, do you just kind of keep it to yourself and close the book, or you call it mom? Or?
No, I usually keep it to myself. I'll let it settle over time, and then usually a couple months later, I might feel like it's something I could add to the set list, or play it somewhere out in public.
Nice. And we kind of joked briefly a little while ago about the curse of singing a song you weren't ready to share and people falling in love with it, and they're like, "Please play that again." You're like, "I guess I better finish this song, huh?"
Oh yeah.
Does that kind of thing ever happen to you?
Yeah. I've had situations where I've played songs for the first time and had some people enjoy them and have to go back and pretty much add them to the set list.
What a struggle when people enjoy your creative work. Right? You're like, oh no, now I have to put it out there. So what are you doing with your music, man? I mean, you've got all these songs, you've got all these ideas. Do you record them? Do you what do you kind of? How do you outlet these works?
I do record some of the songs. Maybe do a rough garage band demo of them, and maybe share them with some people who have maybe have a newsletter, and so I'll send that out on a monthly basis. So I'll send those private tracks. They're not there for the whole world, They're not for everybody. It has to be something that the people are requesting, and I think when someone joins a newsletter, they're saying, I want to come in the door. I want to see what you're doing, and so I'll share those private tracks with people. And sometimes I get messages back from them. They enjoy them. So, yeah.
So things like this newsletter, or I think briefly you mentioned you had a SoundCloud earlier.
Oh yeah.
Do you put those things out there for people to find on their own? Like, would you tell our audience about those things, or you kind of keep them under your hat?
No, I mean, I'll share stuff publicly, but then I'll also have the majority of it's going to be more private. So, yeah.
I like the way you put, they've already come into the door as if they're interested in what you have to offer.
Yeah, definitely.
They find their way to the newsletter, so that's kind of, you can have a little more confidence in offering those things rather than worrying about if it's going to be digestible by the people who are hearing it. Maybe in like an open mic setting, you're like, this half of the room might really love this, and this half maybe not. That's very cool, man. Do you have any kind of plans for gigs, performances, or any major outlets for your music coming up?
I do have in June. I'm going to go out to Allendale Green, and that's something that I have a website. So if anyone's interested in knowing when I'm playing, I keep that updated. But right now I have that, and yeah, that's.
What's the website?
It's ReySoto.com.
ReySoto.com.
I got the ReySoto.com.
You got to get the .com, man.
Yeah, before anyone else got it. There's some other Rey Sotos out there.
Very cool, man. ReySoto.com, and I definitely love to hear Allendale Green coming up again. There's so much that Eddie does for the community and allowing original music to prosper, so it's awesome to hear that you're on the books there. So aside from music, man, what kind of things are most inspiring to you when you do sit down to write? I mean, obviously love and, falling in and out of it. Yeah,
I have to kind of go back to, go look back in my life for a lot of the song inspiration, but I like other songs. I like listening to other songs. Sometimes I'll get inspiration from that. Like popular songs are songs that are not as popular too. So I'm just listening to music. Does that? I get some ideas from that.
What kind of artists though inspire you as an artist? Like when you sit down to write, what kind of things are you hearing in your mind?
I try to find people who are maybe doing something similar to what I'm doing as far as writing songs and like building a set list. That was something I came across a few years ago. Was that I said, well, I didn't feel like the songs that I was writing. I didn't feel like the songs that I was writing. That doesn't sound like I'm saying that right.
I'm following you, man.
But no, I didn't. I felt like a lot of my songs were, maybe there were a lot of sad songs. And when I looked at it, I said, who wants to sit around and listen to a bunch of sad songs? That's not fun. You need something up tempo. You need some happy songs in here. And so I just kind of decided, well, let's build a set list. What would you want to hear? You don't want to hear sad songs for 45 minutes. So let's take it somewhere else. Let's have some up-tempo songs. Let's have some songs that are maybe catchy. Some fun songs in there too. They don't all have to be, deep songs. Maybe a fun one that people can, sing along to by the time it finishes. But so building the set list is kind of the inspiration in making it something that people can listen to. So when I do go out to Allendale Green, I'm doing the old cliche where somebody plays the first song and they 45 minutes later, the set's over with, and it's like, well, when are you gonna play the second song?
Right.
And they're still wondering.
It's like the same sound
Yeah,
all the time.
by the time you finish the set, if somebody asked about the songs at the end of the night, what about that guy who played? They could say at least, well, he had that one song that was really sad, and not, which, they were all the same.
The sad guy.
Yeah. Some variety in the set.
Well, it's kind of I want to say building a set list, just like an album, a complete album, is kind of like a dying thing. It's slowly dwindling for whatever reason, be it the single or videos or whatever's happening. But a lot of people would put a lot of time in that back in the day. Build your album, and it would be to kind of take you on a journey. The first song to the last song would tell a story, and it wouldn't necessarily all be sad songs or all happy songs. So
yeah,
that's really cool, man. That you're able to put yourself in I don't know, you build the story that way. Your set list is your opportunity to kind of guide a whole crowd, So that's the one you're looking forward to the most, is your On Dog Green. When did you say that was going to be?
That's June 21st.
June 21st, 2023.
It's a Wednesday.
On Dog Green. Very cool, man. Okay, so you said that you had a Spotify or a SoundCloud online.
Yes.
Where could people find your SoundCloud? Is that linked on raysoto.com?
Absolutely. Yes, everything's right there.
Nice.
So I have links to... Yeah.
Rey Soto.
The website is a good place to start, and then if you go to the website, you can also sign up for the newsletter, which is, that's to get you in the front door right there. Then you get all the private stuff too.
Nice. So raysoto.com, he's got a newsletter. You've got your SoundCloud that you can get all caught up on and follow Rey Soto.
Yeah, I have links on there.
You're going to play a song for us today?
Yes.
What's the song about, or what is it?
The song's called I Don't Wonder Why. And I have it. There's actually a version of it on my website. It's on my website, but it's one that I had just recorded at home and added some instruments to.
Nice.
Yeah.
Do you just a random question again? You use GarageBand, you said, yeah?
Yeah, I think that's it.
Just a user-friendly recording kind of software, or?
Yeah, nothing. I bought like a kit or whatever, like a little thing that works with my iPad. I can just I can dock my iPad on it, and it's I can record it enough to upload it on SoundCloud and share it with people who want to listen to it.
Well, Rey Soto, thank you so much, man, for sharing some of the insights on your art and where to find it. I hope that the viewers will go to raysoto.com and be a part of your newsletter. And, let's get you up here and we'll hear more from your song. Thank you for being part of the MUFIC Songwriter of the Month for May 2023.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Nobody could predict it, still it was not a surprise. Every day's a risk when you live that kind of life. He was only 22, his best days were ahead. One of the proud in the field, he lived a life of no regrets. And on a dusty road 6,000 miles away, that young man sacrificed his life so that two men might be saved. So now I don't wonder why I've seen grown men cry. Almost 50 years down the line, still they hold their heads up high and they stand tall and brave when they hear Amazing Grace. They think of family and friends and remember way back when times are tough, but they survived. And now I don't wonder why. He wrote a letter to his mother, said I'll be home when the time is right. Tell everybody that I love them. Now it reads just like a goodbye. All of those precious memories carry on as life moves fast. still feels like yesterday every time that they look back. So now I don't wonder why I've seen grown men cry almost 50 years down the line. Still they hold their heads up high and they stand tall and brave when they hear Amazing Grace. They think of family and friends and remember way back when times were tough, but they survived, and now I don't wonder why. There's a time to go and there's a time to stay, but the life of a hero never fades away. So now I don't wonder why I've seen grown men cry almost 50 years down the line. Still they hold their heads up high and they stand tall and brave when they see old glory wave. They think of family and friends and remember way back when times were tough, but they survived, and now I don't wonder why. I don't wonder why.
MUFIC sets you free.